expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management. Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's hunt. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this hollering we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to booking up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't you disrespect the game like that. So much crying from him. He's a man. He can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. How do you still on the field, man? That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad.
Thank you.
Bad. You had to work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now, unfortunately, this game is just getting started late. Had a little emergency, got it taken care of. Back on for a minute or two here, and then should have Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us here shortly. Dr. J Jennifer Thibeaux not going to be able to join us today, and my heart is broken about that because, man, it's been fun hanging out with her here on the show. I mean, it has definitely been fun. And from your comments, you have appreciated it as well. So, again, it'll be me in these first, 26 minutes. And then Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review should be on shortly. I definitely want to talk with him because we saw class in action last night with the number 14 ranked U of H Cougars, University of Houston Cougars, against my alma mater. They did it the way it's supposed to be done. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, on this Throwback Thursday, last night on the men's side, University of Houston beat my alma mater, Tulane, 81-67. And Coach Kevin Sumlin, who is a class act from top to bottom, front to back, and I don't care about what happened at Oklahoma, he's a class act, apologized to the Tulane coaches and players after one of his players dunked the ball with 1 second left and his team was up by double digits. In fact, he went on to talk about how they handled the last several seconds of the game where they were having a little dunk fest. And he said, the guys just have to learn that's not necessary and that's not how you handle your opponent. So he apologized to the head coach of Tulane, who was not happy about it, by the way, but he immediately apologized, unlike the Wisconsin head coach, unlike Coach Juwan Howard. And I'm calling them both out because both could have handled it better. And for those of y'all who still think that the head coach, Greg Gard of Wisconsin, did nothing wrong, I don't have time to educate you on what he did wrong. If you don't get it by now, you're not going to get it. You don't want to get it. But class with Coach Kelvin Sampson, no class with Greg Gard and head coach Juwan Howard. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. University of Houston, number 14 team in the country, led by a classy coach who knows how to get things right when they're wrong without starting or instigating an unnecessary skirmish after the game. Good stuff by Coach Kelvin Sampson. Last night, number 20 UT beat TCU 75-66. And Texas State got a win over South Alabama 55-52. So little quick update, college basketball from around the state. Interesting news came out of the Texans camp yesterday. Head coach Lovie Smith said that he is not planning on and getting ready to have general manager Nick Caserio on the headset in the booth during games, providing any kind of input. And of course, that made all the local media go nuts. Well, he's got to realize that no coach can cover everything. And what's wrong with having a couple of extra eyes and input on certain situations? Coach Lovie Smith said, I ain't planning on that. I'm not preparing for that. Now, of course, we know now that Nick Caserio, general manager of the Texans, was not only on the headset with former head coach David Culley, but he had a microphone in his headset and was able to provide input in several situations. Not just when to call timeouts, not just when to challenge close plays, but from what I'm hearing, and I've got very good sources in that building, he was involved in play calling on the offense between him, Coach David Culley, and former offensive coordinator Tim Kelly. And again, I've gone back, I've looked at the resume, if you will. Nick Caserio's got a lot of experience. Not as much as Coach David Culley had, but a lot of experience. But, bruh, you're general manager. General manage. Let the coaches coach. You do the general manager stuff. And I did. I went back and I found out and have confirmed. Keith Hennig, I agree with you, bro. Keith Hennig said, so that's why the Texans did so well. I agree with you. That's why they were last in almost every offensive statistical category. You can't chime in and not be included with the blame. You can't. You can't. But to finish the point, I have verified that Nick Caserio was also on the headsets in New England. Now, I have verified specifically that he was on the headsets offensively. I haven't been able to verify that he was on the headsets with Bill Belichick, Bill Belichick's son, and former defensive coordinators or guys that might not have had the title but were responsible for the position, i.e. Brian Flores and Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia was defensive coordinator. Brian Flores was not called the defensive coordinator, but I have not been able to verify that Nick Caserio had input into the defensive side of the ball where the man himself had input, and that's Bill Belichick. So I say all that to say, if Nick Caserio feels like he's got his man, let your man do his job. I mean, if we look at the results of your input from 2021, I ain't seen nothing that you did that was so, ooh, all right, wow. There you go. Man, that's Nick Caserio? Oh, yeah. Y'all keep doing that. I mean, I'm going to keep it in-house. I don't care about Ray Farmer up in Cleveland. I don't care about other general managers that when they, quote-unquote, tried to provide or communicate, they got in trouble. But now we're hearing that Nick Caserio is a GM that's on that headset and in a microphone. I'm just talking about here in Houston. Lovie Smith saying he ain't planning for that. Now, I don't know if Nick Caserio is going to pull rank, but I feel like dude needs to get off that headset. If he wants to listen, that's one thing. Be general manager, you can do what you want to do. But to have a microphone and be interjecting in the middle of heated action, you got 24 seconds to get your plays off, 25 seconds to get your plays off. You ain't got time to be fooling with somebody who might be trying to take you in a different direction. I don't know how many microphones are live in those, few seconds before you can no longer talk with the quarterback or with the defensive player on the sidelines, on the field, but you don't need an extra voice that doesn't need to be there. So I hope Lovie Smith wins that battle. I hope he wins that battle. All right, let me take a break. It's Throwback Thursday. I was asked to finish the list of the black quarterbacks for the different teams. And I want to talk about the number of HBCU players that were taken in the USFL draft. There were a number of them, and I want to call them by name. All right, we'll do that in the few minutes I got left in this first hour on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It's Throwback Thursday.
Hi, this is Candace Houston. Tune into my new radio show called Candid Plug. Every Saturday from noon to 1, we will have engaging conversations on current events, topics that affect the community and religion. Join me each Saturday from noon to 1 for my new show called Candid Plug, where you plus me equals us, right here on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
Attention, those of you looking to go on a fun vacation and see the world on the cheap. Today, the U.S. dollar is worth even more in other countries, so there's never been a better time to travel outside the USA. The dollar is worth over $1.30 in Canadian dollars, and it's the same for Australia. You can fly there today and have fun and maximize your travel dollar. Your U.S. dollar is worth over $3 in Brazilian reals, and it's worth over $18 in Mexican pesos. Plus, in Argentina, it's worth over $27 in Argentine pesos. Just think of the bargains you'll get. And the way you get the cheapest airfare to any destination is by calling Tickets That Cheap. Save up to 75% on your foreign vacation tickets. Don't wait. Call now. 802-317-1983. 802-317-1983. 802-317-1983. That's 802-317-1983.
Watch out! You're watching on the lunch break with KYOK.
All right, y'all. We back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I just happened to be rocking the HBCU Texas Southern University hoodie, and I got word that one of their legendary players, one of my favorite players of all time, passed away this morning. I'm getting word that Kenny Burrow, number 00, with the Houston Oilers from the Love You Blue Days, and wide receiver out of Texas Southern, passed away this morning. So yeah, I'll be looking for more details on that, but by all means, do me a favor and keep the Burrow family in your prayers, the Houston Oiler faithful and family in your prayers, and the Texas Southern family in your prayers, because that he was a good brother. He was a good brother, a great guy. In fact, born in Jacksonville, Florida, July 14, 1948. went to Raines High School in Jacksonville, also attended Texas Southern, drafted in 1970 in round number 1 with the 10th pick. He was drafted, believe it or not, by the New Orleans Saints and only stayed with them 1 year before coming over to the Oilers in 71 through 81, two-time Pro Bowler in 75 and 77, 421 catches, 7,102 yards, 49 touchdowns in his career. And I just got to tell you, I just got to tell you that he's definitely going to be missed. He's definitely going to be missed. Did some broadcast work for Texas Southern, him and Chatterbox. Man, that one kind of took my breath away. Just got the notification that Grambling is going to hire ex-Baylor head coach Art Briles as their offensive coordinator. Grambling, we're done. Hugh Jackson, we're done. And again, Dr. J and I, we're going to talk about that today. She has a different take on it than I have. So I'm going to wait. For us to have that conversation. But put everything aside, put all the, allegations aside, which apparently Art Briles has been cleared of and has been found to have actually not had any part in it. I just not a fan. I'll definitely be covering Grambling. I will definitely have an opportunity to ask him at some point. Just, my main question is, what is your level of respect for the legacy at Grambling State University and the legacy of the best coach in college football, Eddie Robinson? I want to hear his words on what level of respect do you have for that? What is your appreciation of that legacy? If this is just a football job, if this is just a stepping stone to get back in coaching, again, put all the Baylor stuff aside, put all the Mount Vernon stuff aside, put all the other stuff at other jobs that he had before he got to Baylor, put all that aside. I just want to know what your level of appreciation is for you walking the hollow fields and sidelines where Eddie Robinson walked. And I want to answer. I want to answer. So we'll see. But yeah, Grambling, good for y'all. We're done. We're done. All right, let me get to these players that got drafted. We get to these players that got drafted in the USFL. 8 HBCU players got drafted in the okay, I'm trying to figure out why my stuff is moving so slow. My Wi-Fi was off. It's on now. All right, let's see. This is an article written by Simone Stanley. Simone Stanley said the United States Football League USFL inaugural draft consisted of 12 rounds during the first of 2 days. 8 HBCU players had their name called in the inaugural draft. And here they are. Malik Hammer out of Jackson State was selected in round number 4 with the number 5th pick by the New Jersey Generals. Malik Hammer, an edge rusher, defensive end out of Jackson State, on his way to the New Jersey Generals. Nigel Chavis out of Norfolk State was selected by the New Orleans Breakers with the 9th pick in the 4th round. He's a linebacker, and he spent 5 seasons at Norfolk from 2015 to 2019. And he has been invited to compete, or he was invited to the 2021 NFL HBCU Combine. Is it Chidi Okeke? Chidi Okeke out of Tennessee State was selected by the Pittsburgh Maulers with the first pick in the 5th round. He's an offensive tackle. He started at LSU and he transferred to Tennessee State in 2017. And he spent time in the NFL with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but Tennessee State on the board with one of their offensive linemen. Calvin Ashley was selected by the New Jersey Generals with the 3rd pick in the 6th round. He's an offensive tackle with a 5-star prospect coming out of high school in 2017. He started at Auburn and ended up going over to FAMU in 2020. He was signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as an undrafted free agent, but now he'll get a good shot over in the USFL. They also selected out of Mississippi Valley State. Joshua Taylor was selected by the Michigan Panthers with the 10th pick in the 7th round. He too is an offensive lineman that can line up anywhere in the trenches, and he completed his college career last season. Terrell Bonds of Tennessee State was selected by Pittsburgh, first pick in the 9th round. He's a defensive back who spent 4 years up at Tennessee State between 2014 and 2017. He spent some time in the NFL with the Miami Dolphins, the Baltimore Ravens, and he also played in the AAF, which I covered from here up in San Antonio, the Alliance of American Football. That's the league that Bill Polian and his colleagues lied about having enough money to sustain the league for 3 seasons, and they couldn't even complete the first season. Funny how people lie and don't get called out. Brian Mills, North Carolina Central, was selected by Birmingham, the Stallions, with the 7th pick in the 10th round. He led the MEAC with 5 interceptions. He also tied the Eagles' program record for single-game interceptions with 3. He was an undrafted free agent with the New Orleans Saints after 2021. And baby, Texas Southern has a young man that got drafted in the USFL. DeAndre Johnson was selected by the New Jersey Generals with the 5th pick in the 12th round, and that's a quarterback. He finished 2019 with 1,705 passing yards. This was the 4th highest mark at TSU since 2000. They call him a dual threat quarterback who ran for another 417 yards. He started at Florida State before transferring to Texas Southern. So again, congratulations to all those young men who got a chance to be drafted out of HBCUs into a professional football league. And I'm telling you now, I'm rooting for the USFL. I am rooting for the XFL. I'm rooting for them. I don't know if they're ever going to be as big or bigger than the NFL. You can tell when people don't have an entrepreneurial spirit. People who are real entrepreneurs don't necessarily start their business thinking they're going to be bigger than Amazon or bigger than Walmart. Most entrepreneurs know if I get 1% of Amazon's market or Walmart's market, I'll be set for the rest of my life. It's people who don't invest and don't take risks as entrepreneurs who always want to say, well, how are you going to do that? You're never going to beat Amazon. Well, listen, not trying to. Just trying to make my mark. Good luck to all those great young men in the USFL and the coaches. All right, let me take a break. Let's get Sybil Wilkes on with what you need to know. We'll start hour number 2 after this.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Friday Eve. Okay, it's Thursday, February 24th, 2022. Number 1. Jury deliberations began Wednesday in the federal trial of 3 former Minneapolis police officers on duty at the scene of George Floyd's arrest and murder. All 3 men, Tu Tao, Thomas Lane, and J. Alexander King, are charged with violating Mr. Floyd's civil rights by not providing medical care aid during the May 25th, 2020 arrest. 2 of the men, Tao and King, are also charged with failing to intervene when Derek Chauvin held his knee on George Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes. Number 2, the Wisconsin State Senate is poised to pass a new bill that would fund a youth prison in Milwaukee County, which would close the state's existing youth prison in northern Wisconsin. This bipartisan proposal would allow the state to borrow $41.8 million to build the Milwaukee County facility. The State Department of Corrections runs the one youth prison located in northern Wisconsin that has been the site of many scandals. Number 3, COVID-19 vaccines are unlikely to trigger a rare inflammatory condition linked to coronavirus infection in children. That according to an analysis of U.S. government data published Tuesday. The condition, formerly known as multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children, involves fever plus symptoms affecting at least 2 organs and often includes stomach pain, skin rash, or bloodshot eyes. It's a rare complication in kids who have COVID-19 and very rarely affects adults. The condition often leads to hospitalization, but most patients do recover. Number 4. On July 13, 2019, George Zimmerman was acquitted for the shooting death of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. Black America mourned Trayvon's death and needed a collective voice to speak out against the murder of this innocent Black teen. As certain Americans showed admiration and monetary support for George Zimmerman, Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, and Opal Tometi created Black Lives Matter, a response to Zimmerman's acquittal to support all Black lives and raise political awareness in areas suffering from tragedies like the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. Number 5, Erica Anise learned at a young age about the family curse or heart disease, her mother's reference to members dying young. Her grandfather suffered 2 heart attacks before dying, of a third in his early 60s, and her father succumbed to a heart attack at 60 after a long history of high blood pressure. Read Erica's full story at the Go Red for Women website. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Chaos and tension are like poison in the body. Breathe. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central for a special episode of Check In and Check Up with guests Dr. Eric Griggs, Erica Anise, and Dr. Frida Lewis Hall, and our friend comedian Alicia Cooper. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the American Heart Association. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, thank you very much. There's Sybil Wilkes with what we need to know today. That's going to take us out of this first hour into the second hour, and we'll go ahead and hit that right now on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe at 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
All right, I'm about to get this second hour started. Somebody just called in, and I love my callers, so let me go ahead and get this caller on. We'll do birthdays after that. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
What's up? What's up? It's Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck. First and foremost, you and your family have my most sincere condolences and prayers on the passing of Uncle John. My heart is broken about that news.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. We certainly appreciate it. To everybody that's been giving us their condolences. Uncle John was one of a kind. He lived his life.
when I got that news, man, you know, my heart broke. So I am definitely praying with and for y'all, and definitely going to be praying for y'all this coming Saturday.
Yes, sir. Well, we just give God all the glory.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, the Lady Eagles are on the road again. We're gonna be playing somebody called Hitchcock. Getting that down your way?
Yeah, that's south. That's south. That's down there in the Lamar, Texas City, Santa Fe, heading down that way.
Oh, okay. Well, do you know anything about it?
You know what's funny? You said that because I'm pulling them up as we speak. Hitchcock girls basketball record.
Oh, record don't mean that.
Well, you know what? We talked about that last year, Uncle Buck. We talked about that last year. And guess what happened?
Well, we understand. That was last year.
Okay, Uncle Buck. Okay, all right, here. You ready? You ready?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Hitchcock girls basketball, Bulldogs, 26-5. They're 11-1 at home, 6-1 away, and at neutral sites they're 9-3. They finished first in their district, and they were undefeated in their district.
Oh, that sounds real good. Now, if that little thing you got to look them up with, look up the Lady Eagles of Fairfield, Texas.
All right, let me see what I can do here. Hold on. Let me see what I can do with these Fairfield Lady Eagles. All right. Good Lord. I see what you did there, and I see why you did it. Lady Fairfield Eagles, 36-1. First in their district, 14-0. They're 13-1 at home, 9-0 away, and 14-0 on a neutral site.
Okay.
All right. Like I said, I see what you did there, and I see why you did it.
Okay. Enough said about that. You know what?
Uncle Buck, I got a question for you before you go. Don't run off.
Okay.
Don't run off.
Gotcha.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute. Is this the championship game with Hitchcock?
No, this is the regional finalists, I believe.
Okay.
We went through district by district area regional finalists.
Okay. I got you. All right. I wasn't sure. Okay. So here's what I want to ask you. You're one of the biggest Cowboy fans I know.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember who the first black quarterback it was for the Dallas Cowboys to start a game?
Was his last name, Irwin?
No, it was Reggie Collier, 12/21/1986.
Okay. Well, that's a good one. You got me on that.
Yeah. And I was surprised because I didn't think they had a black quarterback until Quincy Carter.
That's who I was thinking.
Yeah, I thought it was Quincy Carter. But before then, Reggie Collier got a start in 1986, their first black quarterback to start for America's team, Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got me on it.
No problem. It's Black History Month, so I'm just sharing what I'm learning.
Okay, good. That's good.
Uncle Buck, y'all be safe this weekend. Be blessed. Know my thoughts and prayers are with you, man.
Yes, sir. And I'm just going to say this. This is Uncle Buck. I'm out of here.
Uncle Buck, thank you, man. Can't nobody do it like Uncle Buck. That's why he is a Hall of Fame caller. All right, before I get my brother like no other on here, let me do these birthdays because I know he ain't going to sing. Let me get him. Let me see what he going to do. You going to sing? You singing?
Happy birthday?
Yeah.
Are there women?
You know what?
Be messy today, man.
That's hilarious, bro. I can't be mad at you, man. I cannot be mad at you because you are funny. All right, let me tell you who I got on the birthday list. One of my dear friends, Lina Newman James, is celebrating her birthday along with Camilio Bagsby. He's celebrating his birthday. He's 56 today. Got to give him some love. Lashana D.M. Dickerson is 46. Nicole Abear Booker is celebrating her birthday today. Thomas Hurd is celebrating along with Millette Watson Robinson. She's 57. Phyllis Chapman Simmons is 58. And Gila Rhodes, I call her my angel. I was in a dark place, and she saved my life, brother. So, yeah, I got to say happy birthday to her as well. Celebrity birthdays. I'm telling you now, this is a good one because you got a number of Hall of Famers celebrating birthdays today. This dude ain't one of them. I don't know if I like this dude or not. Phil Knight, the founder and creator of Nike.
Nike, yep.
Is celebrating a birthday today. Fred Dean, All-American and Hall of Famer, played with the Chargers, the 49ers, celebrating a birthday today. Now, he passed away in 2020. Eddie Murray, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer, played with the Orioles and the Dodgers, celebrating a birthday today. Simeon Rice. Now, he's not in the Hall of Fame, but that brother could ball. He could ball. He was part of that Tampa Bay Super Bowl team back in 2002. And Floyd Money Mayweather, one of the best boxers of all time, celebrating a birthday today.
That's all right. It's
a good list, brother. It's a good. February 24th is memorable.
Yeah, it's all right. It ain't March 14th, but it's all right.
Oh my gosh. Brother, let me come on, Usher, help us out.
Oh, go shorty.
It's your birthday. Yeah, I can do all that too, Usher. You ain't nothing. All right, whatever. Yeah. Go shorty. It's your birthday. It's your birthday today. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can't do all that. I know you can do it. That's why I said, man, I need to get Usher off the list. I need a recording of you that I can play every day for birthdays. So
let me know how you might give me the words you want me to say, and I'll sing it. Put it to music. Well, I can just acapella. I can do that.
I was gonna say, brother,
I can flow like that.
I'll put a musical track underneath it because I know how to make beats. I'm a beat maker.
Yeah, you got skills. Yeah, this I know. Yeah.
Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, jumping on with me on Throwback Thursday, man. I've been in the middle of some personal emergencies, had to jump on a little late, but hit the ground running. And as I came on, the first thing I wanted to acknowledge was the class of head coach Kelvin Sampson that he showed last night, unlike the no class that was shown by Wisconsin head coach Greg Gard, and I'll even throw Michigan head coach in Juwan Howard. Last night was how it was supposed to be done. He was not happy with the way his team handled the last few seconds of the game, especially the last second dunk, and immediately went to the player, let him know, immediately apologized to the coaches on the sideline, and then in his presser after the game, I apologize. That's not the kind of class. That's not the way you show class to your opponent. That's how it should have been handled.
Agreed. And I didn't like it the last few seconds. I didn't like the buckets prior to the dunk that JVA Francis had in the last few seconds at U of H. The game was over.
Right.
U of H got the victory. The game was, final score wasn't necessary, but the winner had been determined.
Correct. The game was already decided.
And, call me old school or what have you. I don't care. I'm good with that. Coach Sampson ran onto the court to talk to his players about that. That's not how I do things. That's not how we do things.
Right.
And I was good with that. And I've seen people, alums, younger, didn't have a problem with it. Well, that's you. Okay. I had a problem with it. I put it on Twitter. Didn't like how the U of H handled those last few. What are you trying to prove? JV France already had one dunk prior to that to get his 2 points in front of his friends and family because he's from New Orleans.
Yeah.
So already got that. You need to have a windmill dunk. And Coach Sampson said it wasn't JVA's fault. It was Jamal Shedd's fault for passing the ball.
Right.
So, yeah. So I was very good and glad to see Coach Sampson do what he did on the court, even though it got a technical. Fine. And then he issued the apology in the press. And I was about to ask him about it because I was the next person in line for the question. And he went ahead and just brought it up himself. So good on him to do it. So, yeah, he addressed it himself.
Yeah, again, I can't say enough about the difference, the stark difference. And I don't think he did it just because of what we saw earlier this week. I think he did it because that's who he is.
Yes.
That's who Coach Kelvin Sampson is. And I think the kids will be better for it. I definitely know his relationship inside the conference is better for that kind of class and understanding of how these things go when you're on the winning end and on the losing end.
Because, you know, I learned, and this is what I try to live by as I approach 50, act like you've been there before.
Yeah.
Act like you know how to win, so you know how to act when you lose.
Right.
Because you're not going to win every game. You won't lose every game. There's nothing wrong with being a good sport and being a good winner.
Yeah.
And also a good loser. And somewhere along the line, society has lost that all over the world.
Yeah.
About being a good winner, good loser, poor winner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not a sign of strength.
One of the greatest high school football coaches ever, Jerry Faust, who left Cincinnati Moeller High School and took over Notre Dame, didn't have the same success there, but was a very wise man. And he told us, you win with class and you lose with dignity.
Yes.
Don't embarrass your opponents because guess what? You are an opponent to somebody. And if you don't like being embarrassed, then don't you embarrass anybody else. And he taught us how to enjoy the moments because you may never get to a championship game again on any level in your life. And he was absolutely right. So when I see the Greg Gards of the world, when I see the, you know, even to some degree, Juwan, at least Juwan took responsibility after the fact. And whether PR, the media relations wrote his statement or not, at least he stuck by it. That nonsense that came out of Wisconsin from their athletic director, this victim mentality that Greg Gard is trying to run around with, it's shameful. And it speaks more to who those people really are than their ability to coach and lead young men and what have you. And again, we got a lot of apologists out there who want to go overlook different parts of the same situation. And there were individual things in that situation that by themselves are actionable, needed to be addressed. None less than Greg Gard feeling entitled to put his hands on another person and make them stop and listen to what he had to say.
Agreed. And I'm gonna go there, brother. So these few minutes on your show may be eventful. You know, people about the invasion in Ukraine. Putin is a strong man. Some of these same folks are hating on Juwan Howard. Well, wasn't Juwan Howard being a strong man responding the way he did?
Yeah.
But y'all hating on Juwan Howard for doing that. I know it's comparison analogy is kind of weak, but strong man, right? If you like a strong man or you don't.
Well, I mean, Kris, and I want you to go ahead and say your piece. What we've seen is that when it's in one person, it's appreciated. Correct. When it's in another, it's a problem. You know, Tom Brady has cussed people out on the sidelines. And it's just, he's a passionate leader.
Yes.
Des Bryant trying to motivate his team and gets, verbose and animated, and he's disgruntled. He's a baby. He needs to sit down and be quiet.
Go ahead and say it. He's an angry black man.
Right.
That's it.
And again, I don't care who rolls their eyes and, here we go again. The truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. And as I said a couple days ago with Dr. J, there is one culture with one gender in that culture that has operated from a place of privilege since the beginning of time in this country. 46 presidents. How many of them have been women?
Let me see.
None.
Zero, right? Zero.
46 presidents. How many of them have been anything other than Caucasian?
I believe one, sir.
But again, we're not supposed to say that that's a place of privilege. That gives you privilege. You have had the privilege of being able to have the authority, have the power, and dictate what the power, the rules, the laws, all of that will be. They have never had to have anybody create laws to give them something that they didn't already have, like the 15th Amendment, like the 19th Amendment. So, folks can say what they want to say, but that particular gender and that culture has always been ahead of the game.
Agreed. And we're always going to have these discussions. And the folks who roll their eyes are the ones who are wrong and just don't want to accept it.
And I mean on both sides of culture. Yeah. I'm talking about out of the black culture that roll their eyes, out of the white culture that roll their eyes. Just listen, just because it has not happened to you, thank God, or thank whatever believer or creator that you believe in. Thank that entity. But for those who have, it is not fair for you to discount their experience because you've never experienced it.
Right. Because you didn't experience it, that person is wrong.
Yeah.
Because you didn't experience it, what they went through. Well, they're wrong. Okay.
Up by your bootstraps. I got on boots right now. They don't have straps. So what am I supposed to pull myself up by?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. This Ukraine thing is unbelievable because the number of people that I see supporting Russia against the Ukraine and supporting Putin over Biden is unbelievable. It's just unbelievable.
It's no longer unbelievable for me based on the last few years in this country, because the rationale, and I said strongman for a reason, because quote unquote a reason that many people voted for the grifter was he's so strong. He speaks with such authority. He's such a strong man. Could be lying through his teeth.
Yep.
But he said it from his chest. He said it with such strength.
Yep.
Don't mean squat if he's lying.
Look, no tact, no compassion, disrespectful, lies in most cases, but the way he said it.
Yeah, he said it with such strength and conviction. Okay, so you're just justifying being a criminal then. Well, I'm going to take what you got. Why? Because I'm stronger than you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Works for me. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Kris, we got to take a quick break. Let me take that break. We'll come back and we'll talk more. Again, it's your segment. So whatever you want to talk about, let's get it. You know me. We free to flow. Throwback Thursday here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
How is your car payment treating you? What if I told you you could make a free phone call right now and reduce your car payment by as much as $83 a month? Look at your car payment closely. You could be paying as high as 20% interest. Rate Genius can help you reduce your car payments by reducing your interest rate to as low as 2.48% APR. We can refinance most existing car loans or leased cars, new or used, and save you money every month. Put more money back in your pocket. The call is free to find out how low we can lower your car payment. 5 minutes of your time right now could save you hundreds of dollars a year. Call Rate Genius now.
800-811-4169. 800-811-4169. 800-811-4169. That's 800-811-4169.
Not applicants qualify for a loan or rate savings. Actual offer terms including APR are determined at the time of your application based on creditworthiness, value of the vehicle, loan term, and other factors.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you. And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required. Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary. 800-221-2261. 800-221-2261. 800-221-2261. That's 800-221-2261.
I'm Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner. I wake up every day to work for our community, and Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo does too. When the pandemic hit, she put people ahead of politics and fought for our communities. When they came after our right to vote, she fought back by extending voting hours and tripling early vote locations. I'm with Lena Hidalgo because she's with us. Join me in voting for Lena Hidalgo. Early vote is February 14th to February 25th. Election day is March the 1st.
Political advertisement paid for by Lena Hidalgo for Harris County.
Are you looking to start a business? From side hustles to major business opportunity, Franchise 123 connects franchise buyers with sellers. And we have over 4,000 franchises for you to choose from. In one simple 30-second call, our live agents will sign you up to the platform. This is not a hard sales call either. We give you free access to our database. Yes, free access, no cost. We are the largest online franchise database in the
Sorry
world.
about that, brother.
You can find
Taking care of an
95%
emergency.
of all businesses. Buying a franchise doesn't have to be complicated. We make
No
it
problem,
easy
no problem at all.
to have no startup fees.
Crazy.
You can turn your special skill into a franchise business or go full scale with all the top franchise businesses in the world. Sign up with Franchise 123 now and get your free guide to franchise success now. Call 800-419-5344, 800-419-5344, or text Franchise 123 to 63566. Text Franchise 123 to 63566.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there. Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host
All right,
of the
last
Not
one,
So
bro.
Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM at KYOKradio.org.
I found him. He right here on the show. There you go, right there.
Here I am.
It is
Here I am.
none other than the host, the founder, the creator of the Houston Roundball Review, Kris Gardner. What's up, bro?
No rapper can rap quite like I can. I take a muscle bind a man and put his face in the sand. Okay, let's go. All right, I'm good.
Come on with your LL Cool J flow.
Oh my goodness, good old days, man. Good old days, brother.
Yeah.
Who is referred to when I say this? Quote, his incurious attitude toward potential criminal conduct by his student athletes was deeply troubling to the panel. As a campus leader, the head coach is held to an even higher standard. He completely failed to meet that standard. Art Browse, man.
Yeah, brother.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Don't make me go there. I'm trying to.
I'll be right back, AJ. Something out with my mom. I'm going to check with my mom.
Okay, please do. All right. Kris Gardner, we're going to bring him back on in just a second. But yeah. That's our Browse. That's what they said about him. But now they got to call him offensive coordinator of the Grambling State Tigers. So there you go. Camilio and Clarence and Graham Fam 1983, and I forget the other words that he puts behind his name. Y'all got you one there. And I mean it. I hope it works out for you. I just do. I hope it works out for you. And that's we were talking briefly about the Wisconsin situation and the head coach there and how the athletic director wants to focus on their race for the Big 10 championship and all that. You know, one thing I don't have to worry about with Wisconsin is them winning a national championship. They're going to have a run in the March Madness. They're going to have a run. And one thing I like about March Madness is anybody can make it. But one thing I don't have to worry about is them winning a national championship. at some point, I feel like some cooler heads and mature minds will kick in and folks will realize, I don't know, call me naive, folks will realize they should have handled certain things differently. Wisconsin is one of those teams. I'm hopeful. I know Juwan Howard is going to look back and wish he had handled things differently if he hadn't already started doing that. And this year has been humbling for Michigan. Has been humbling. They didn't have the same great, consistent success that they had last season. And again, folks want to bring up the history. Well, last year, Juwan Howard went after this coach and that coach and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, okay. But yet we got Art Briles, who is about to be announced as the new offensive coordinator of Grambling State University. Let's talk history. Y'all want to talk history? Let's talk history about everybody. Don't just talk history about the folks you don't like or the folks you want to try to prove a point on. Let's talk Art Briles. And don't just go to Baylor. Go to the other schools, high schools that he coached. Go there and pull that history up and tell me again why he deserves this chance. I haven't heard anything about Greg Gard's history. Who else has Greg Gard grabbed by the arm and stopped from walking away from him? And I say again, Tom Izzo weighing in on this situation is just laughable. Just laughable. Nobody wants to bring his history up about how he had to be separated from a kid, a player, multiple times. The player was cool, calm, collected. Tom Izzo ready to jump in folks' face. Oh, that's just good coaching. All right. Let a different kind of coach do that to one of y'all's kids. And let me see. Let me hear you tell me that's good coaching. Let's see. Art Briles is despicable. I have no idea why Grambling would want him. Hugh Jackson. I put that on three people. Hugh Jackson, athletic director, president. Hugh Jackson, athletic director, president. Again, good for them. Hope it works out. Probably won't, but I hope it works out. So when Kris comes back, we'll talk about the SWAC standings. Texas Southern now sitting on top of the SWAC by themselves. But since we're talking about Art Briles and Grambling, I want to look at the SWAC and kind of give you some ideas of what I think the standings are going to look like. Jackson State, of course, did not lose a game in the SWAC this past year. They made some changes, too, on their offensive staff, brought in a new offensive coordinator, going to run the air raid offense, which, again, I don't think that offense has won a championship in FBS. And, obviously, Cliff Kingsbury runs some form of it in the NFL, and we know how he's done. So I'm going to step out on a limb and say Jackson State may win the SWAC, but they're not going to be undefeated in the SWAC. In fact, I'm going to say that they're probably going to lose their first SWAC game under Coach Sanders against FAMU. I feel like FAMU is going to contend for the East in the SWAC again. Coach Prime was 11-2 overall, 8-0 in conference play. FAMU was 9-3 overall and 7-1 in conference play. And if I'm not mistaken, FAMU gets Jackson State again early in next season. So I wouldn't be surprised if FAMU doesn't find a way to win that game and hand Jackson State their first loss in the SWAC. So I'm going Jackson State, FAMU. I think Alabama A&M is going to take a dive because of the changeover at quarterback. Akil Glass will be gone. Same thing with Prairie View. Jawan Pass will be gone. So I feel like Alcorn and Southern will battle for the West title. And I'm definitely saying Jackson State, FAMU. I want to throw Alabama A&M, but I don't know who the backup quarterback is. I don't know who. I'm going Jackson State, FAMU for the East, and Alcorn and Southern for the West. Prairie View, got to see what you're going to do, what Coach Bubba McDowell can do, who he's going to get in there at quarterback. Is he maintaining the offensive coordinator and offensive staff that he had last year? Did he bring in some new folks? Too many questions there. I'm not giving Hugh Jackson nothing. I'm not giving him anything. I'm sorry. Graham Fam, Camilio, and guys, I'm not giving him anything. That Art Brow's offense might put up a lot of points. I just don't know how many games it's going to win. Just don't know. Just don't know. And again, with Coach Dooley going over to Southern and the kind of success that he had at Grambling, at Prairie View, they were 7-5 overall and 6-2 in conference, and they represented the West in the SWAC championship game. Coach Dooley is taking that over to Southern. I don't think he's going to have instant success. Southern finished 4th in the West, 4-7 on the season, 3-5 on the year. I expect them to be in the top 3. I expect it to be probably Alcorn, Southern, and somebody else. So we'll see. We'll see. We will see. Let me see if we got any other breaking news in the world of sports. The quarterback up in Green Bay reportedly has met with the front office in Green Bay. I don't know if they've made an actual offer to him, but reportedly he has met with them and they have expressed their desire to keep him. And I want to go on record and say, I hope the quarterback in Green Bay stays in Green Bay. Funny how that's another Wisconsin area. Like what they call the norm in Wisconsin, stay there, bro. Don't take that nonsense anywhere else. I don't want him to go anywhere near the Pittsburgh Steelers or the New Orleans Saints. I don't want him to go anywhere near them. If y'all want him down there in Tampa, Keith Hennick, let him come down there and roll with y'all, but I don't want him anywhere near Pittsburgh or New Orleans. I don't. Reportedly, the Deshaun Watson trade value has not waned at all. Reportedly, there are several teams that are still very interested in trying to get him out of Texas with the Texans. I know one of those teams that is reportedly interested, the Carolina Panthers and Washington are two teams that are reportedly keeping a very close eye on the proceedings with Deshaun Watson. I'll step out on a limb and say you're probably not going to get any movement in that situation before April. April is when the grand jury will have their process, if you will, for the criminal piece of it. I feel like if the grand jury indicts Watson criminally, you'll probably see a number of teams back up. If the grand jury chooses not to indict Deshaun Watson in April, then you very well may see teams literally take a chance in trying to get ahead of everyone else and bring him in even before a settlement is reached with all of the plaintiffs. I'm sorry, did I say plaintiffs? All of the accusers, excuse me. I got to get my legal terminology right. Keith Hennig said, I have no desire to have another drama queen in Tampa. That's what you'd be getting. That is what you would be getting. And I used to think that there was someone that had the ability to speak truth to life in the life of that young man, and well, he's an older man now, but that quarterback in Green Bay, and I just don't believe that anymore. I just don't believe that anymore. I mean, he is more like a college frat guy, hanging out with Pat McAfee and all of his boys, and, you know, they're just laughing and joking it up and yapping it up about everything as if it's funny, and they've got twisted logic about stuff that they have no idea what they're talking about. I mean, I see him more as that as I see him as a level-headed, respectful, mature young man in his 30s. I mean, I have a son his age. And my son is by far more level-headed and mature and all of that than that cat up there in Green Bay. Ben Sutter III, bro, let me tell you something, man. You being concerned about me, checking on me, that's real, man. I mean it, bro. You are a real one. He said Watson and Rodgers will be hot commodities this offseason. Let me tell you something. Here are the hot commodities quarterback-wise this offseason. The quarterback up in Green Bay, which I hope stays in Green Bay. Deshaun Watson, obviously. Like I said, I don't expect any movement until after April. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I believe more teams are concerned about the criminal piece than the civil piece. And then here's a name that not a lot of people are talking about free agent-wise, and that's Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is going to have multiple choices on where he will be able to sign this coming season. I don't think Tampa Bay will take him back, but I think he instantly becomes QB1 wherever he goes. I mean, obviously, Kansas City is not going to bring in Jameis Winston, so he's not going to have to compete with Patrick Mahomes. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about in the place. If he goes to Washington, he's instantly QB1. If he goes to Carolina, he's instantly QB1. If he goes to Indianapolis, he's instantly QB1. If he goes to Pittsburgh, he better be QB1, or you got to get rid of that general manager now. I know he's retiring, and he's going to get you through the draft. But if Jameis calls up Pittsburgh and says, yo, I want to come to Pittsburgh. I want to come to Pitty. I want to pray for Mike E.T. If he comes to Pittsburgh, he better be QB1. Ain't no way in the world you can have Rudolph the Redneck Reindeer as QB1 or even Dwayne Haskins at QB1 over Jameis Winston. No way. You got to tell that general manager, listen, I know you're retiring. Why don't you go ahead and go home now? I mean, yeah, we'll still pay you through. We'll still pay you through. Keith and Ben Sutter III, Keith Hennig said Jameis should stay in New Orleans. He might get a better offer somewhere else. He might get a better offer somewhere else. That's why I say New Orleans may be out of the price range to bring in Jameis Winston. they might get priced out of being able to keep him. So, I mean, you very well might be looking at a situation where New Orleans might even want to keep him and not be able to do it. So we'll see. But that's a quarterback that to me is a wild card. The other one who's kind of a wild card is Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo is nowhere near as good as the quarterback up in Green Bay. He's nowhere near as good as Russell Wilson. But Jimmy Garoppolo is a serviceable quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo has helped San Francisco get deep in the playoffs and to a Super Bowl, so you cannot discount him. The thing that might be a strike against him is his ability to stay healthy. So we'll see. We'll see. Jimmy Garoppolo is another one that should have multiple choices. In fact, I'm going to say this. Jimmy G in Indianapolis, with that run game, that offensive line, and that defense, Jimmy G might surprise a lot of people in Indianapolis. Keith Hennig just said it. If Jimmy G has the right talent around him, he will win. Jimmy G in Indianapolis will eat everything that Carson Wentz left on the bone. Jimmy Garoppolo in Indianapolis with that running game, with Taylor and that running game, bruh, and those wide receivers, and that offensive line, and that head coach, he'll eat everything that Carson Wentz left on the bone. Now, what I'm concerned about for you, Keith, is somebody in the organization, I think it's Bruce Arians, talked about how Blaine Gabbert is the front runner to replace Tom Brady. Man, I got to take a break. That made my stomach hurt just to say it. I'll take a break. We're about to wrap it up right after this on the lunch break.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Hi, this is Candace Houston. Tune into my new radio show called Candid Plug. Every Saturday from noon to 1, we will have engaging conversations on current events, topics that affect the community, and religion. Join me each Saturday from noon to 1 for my new show called Candid Plug, where you plus me equals us, right here on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and streaming live on KYOKradio.org.
Attention, those of you looking to go on a fun vacation and see the world on the cheap. Today, the U.S. dollar is worth even more in other countries, so there's never been a better time to travel outside the USA. The dollar is worth over $1.30 in Canadian dollars, and it's the same for Australia. You can fly there today and have fun and maximize your travel dollar. Your U.S. dollar is worth over $3 in Brazilian reals, and it's worth over $18 in Mexican pesos. Plus, in Argentina, it's worth over $27 in Argentine pesos. Just think of the bargains you'll get. And the way you get the cheapest airfare to any destination is by calling Tickets That Cheap. Save up to 75% on your foreign vacation tickets. Don't wait. Call now. 802-317-1983. 802-317-1983. 802-317-1983. That's 802-317-1983.
This is your girl, Randy Nelson, and you are listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, we're back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I hope everything is okay with Chris Gardner and his mom. But y'all extend your prayers to them. Make sure everything is well. He had to drop off the show. And believe me, I understand. I'm dealing with some emergency stuff myself and might get pulled away in any second. But definitely keep Kris Gardner and his family in your prayers, okay? Let's see. Bruce Arians loves Blaine Gabbert. Baffling to me. Ben Sutter III. I heard that. Keith sound like he's boosting his guy. And Keith said, true, Ben. Brady groomed him for 2 years, but he ain't another Brady. I'm telling you, man, listen to me. Hold on real quick. Stop the music. Do I got any music playing? Stop it. What if I got, here's music. Stop it. Listen, I've stood near some of the greatest. I've stood next to Dr. J. I've stood next to Michael Vick. I've stood next to, and I can go on and on and on. I've stood next to some of the greatest of all time. That don't mean I'm going to be great. Blaine Gabbert sitting under Tom Brady for 2 years means nothing. Means nothing. You can stand in your garage where you park a Lamborghini forever and never become a Lamborghini or an expert on how to work on one. I'm no shade against Blaine Gabbert. I mean, listen, if I was Blaine Gabbert and I came out of, didn't he come out of Missouri? Where did Blaine Gabbert come out of? If I came out with all the fanfare and the people writing what they wrote about me and saying what they said about me and pump me up, you got Todd McShay saying, oh, I'm one of the best in the game and I'd be a good pick for any team. I ain't gonna lie and say, I ain't gonna turn that down. I ain't gonna get up and say, Todd McShay is wrong. I suck. You don't do that. You don't do that. So, yeah, we'll see. Hey, y'all stay right there. I gotta take this call. Let me get Sybil Wilkes on and what you need to know right here on the lunch break. Sybil Wilkes, come on, give us what you need to know today.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Friday Eve. Okay, it's Thursday, February 24th, 2022. Number 1. Jury deliberations began Wednesday in the federal trial of 3 former Minneapolis police officers on duty at the scene of George Floyd's arrest and murder. All 3 men, Tu Tao, Thomas Lane, and J. Alexander King, are charged with violating Mr. Floyd's civil rights by not providing medical care aid during the May 25th, 2020 arrest. 2 of the men, Tao and King, are also charged with failing to intervene when Derek Chauvin held his knee on George Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes. Number 2, the Wisconsin State Senate is poised to pass a new bill that would fund a youth prison in Milwaukee County, which would close the state's existing youth prison in northern Wisconsin. This bipartisan proposal would allow the state to borrow $41.8 million to build the Milwaukee County facility. The State Department of Corrections runs the one youth prison located in northern Wisconsin that has been the site of many scandals. Number 3, COVID-19 vaccines are unlikely to trigger a rare inflammatory condition linked to coronavirus infection in children. That according to an analysis of U.S. government data published Tuesday. The condition, formerly known as multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children, involves fever plus symptoms affecting at least 2 organs and often includes stomach pain, skin rash, or bloodshot eyes. It's a rare complication in kids who have COVID-19 and very rarely affects adults. The condition often leads to hospitalization, but most patients do recover. Number 4. On July 13, 2019, George Zimmerman was acquitted for the shooting death of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. Black America mourned Trayvon's death and needed a collective voice to speak out against the murder of this innocent Black teen. As certain Americans showed admiration and monetary support for George Zimmerman, Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, and Opal Tometi created Black Lives Matter, a response to Zimmerman's acquittal to support all Black lives and raise political awareness in areas suffering from tragedies like the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. Number 5, Erica Anise learned at a young age about the family curse or heart disease, her mother's reference to members dying young. Her grandfather suffered 2 heart attacks before dying, of a third in his early 60s, and her father succumbed to a heart attack at 60 after a long history of high blood pressure. Read Erica's full story at the Go Red for Women website. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Chaos and tension are like poison in the body. breathe. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central for a special episode of Check In and Check Up with guests Dr. Eric Griggs, Erica Anise, and Dr. Frida Lewis Hall, and our friend comedian Alicia Cooper. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the American Heart Association. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SibylWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
Hey, you want some sports with your lunch? Well, tune in to the legendary KYOK at the lunch break. And I'm Raven Rogers.
All right, y'all, we back here on the show. I apologize for having to step away. I literally do have an emergency going on and gonna have to get out of here in just a few minutes. But I wanted to go ahead and wrap it up. Chris Gardner and his mom are okay. He just checked back in with me, so they're good. So thank y'all for praying for them. Keith Hennig said, yeah, Blaine Gabbert came out of Mizzou. Again, I'm not hating on Blaine Gabbert, Josh McCown. I'm not hating on those guys at all. You know, Tampa Bay can't go from Tom Brady to Blaine Gabbert and not be serious about trying to contend for Super Bowl championships. Jimmy Garoppolo has been to a Super Bowl as the starting quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo got them deep in the playoffs as the starting quarterback. Again, that's a logical fit. Again, I don't see Tampa Bay taking Jameis Winston back, so he's kind of off of the table, in my opinion. But if they can pry Russell Wilson out of Seattle and get him down in Tampa Bay, now you're competing for Super Bowls again and not just trying to find a serviceable quarterback who knows your system to carry over the torch from Tom Brady. Blaine Gabbert is not a dude that you pass the torch to. Blaine Gabbert is the dude that you say, excuse me, and then you reach the torch over to somebody else. My bad, I was trying to get this to him. Yeah, no, I agree, Keith. I know Bruce Arians and the organization as a whole. You know, you move on. You move on. You move on. They moved on from Jameis. Jameis has been fine since they moved on from him. And like I said, Jameis will have his pick of multiple teams when his time comes. I know that there are teams, again, from a good colleague, good friend up in Pittsburgh who said, AJ, Pittsburgh is actively watching Jameis Winston's recovery. Didn't say anything about seeking to sign him or anything like that. They're actively paying attention to his recovery process, which is smart. But again, the top free agent quarterbacks for me this coming season are the quarterback up in Green Bay, of course, Deshaun Watson. Can you call Russell Wilson a free agent quarterback? I mean, I know there's been discussion about him wanting to move on, but I don't know if you can call him a free agent quarterback because he's still in the contract, if I'm not mistaken. So I would put him in those are the top three, quote unquote, quarterbacks that might be able to move. Quarterback in Green Bay, Deshaun, and Russell. And then the immediate next tier would be Jameis Winston, Jimmy Garoppolo, and then I got to be honest, I hate to say it, somebody's going to take a chance on Carson Wentz. Either Indianapolis is going to take another chance on him and keep him there, or a team like Tampa Bay or Pittsburgh. I don't see him going down to New Orleans, but a team that wants to create some quarterback competition might bring Carson Wentz in. Pittsburgh really might do it because of his time in Philly. I mean, again, we'll see. We'll see. But those are my main available quarterbacks who I think really can shape another team in a positive way. In a positive way. All right, y'all. Got to get ready to roll. I know I did not get done with the quarterbacks, first black quarterbacks. So for the person that sent that to me, I apologize. I'll finish that up. On this day in Black history, we celebrate the two first black quarterbacks for pro teams here in Texas. For the Houston Texans, it was Tony Banks back on November 2nd, 2003. And for the Dallas Cowboys, it was Reggie Collier, December 21st, 1986. So Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. He'll give you the best in gospel music, latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does his thing every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. In the morning, you got Erica Campbell and Griff Get Up Mornings, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then I'll be back with a very special Freestyle Friday. I'm going to replay a show that I did many years ago in honor of Black History Month. And you'll hear from Priest Holmes. You'll hear from Kermit Washington. You'll hear from Tuffy Rhodes, Major League Baseball. And you'll hear from a gentleman who played in the AFL. That was the league that black players played in when the NFL segregated and didn't have black players playing in the NFL. And you'll hear from that gentleman as well. But we'll do that tomorrow on Freestyle Friday on the lunch break. Again, I want to thank Ben Sutter III for allowing us to stream on Roku. If you got a Roku streaming device, just go to the Roku app and download BS3 TV. Not only will you see the lunch break, but you'll see some really great programming. And I am grateful to be in the family. We're streaming on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And we thank you for those listening on AM 1140, 92.3 FM, and on KYLKradio.org. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Y'all do me a favor, though. Pray for the Ukraine. Pray for the Ukraine. No matter what you think politically, when a country like that is being invaded and attacked by a global power like a Russia, again, wherever you are politically, that's a scary proposition. There are people in that country that simply are trying to live, and they're facing an attack from a world power. If you don't do anything else, please lower it down to that common denominator and pray for those families, okay? Again, have a blessed day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Again, apologize for the late start and the early end, but I got to run. Love y'all. Y'all have a good one, okay?